I'm all in.
He shoves.
Pile it in.
Gross does. And look at Hellmuth moving all in.
That was amazing. Of all the questions I get from poker fans about poker players, no one gets asked about more than Phil Hellmuth Jr.
Yeah, you can't deny Phil's success at poker, although many do try. He has 15 WSOP bracelets, $22 million in tournament winnings. Put all that together, we're talking fast track to the Poker Hall of Fame.
Now, we don't have video of every single hand that got him there, but these few should be a pretty good start.
And why don't you start by commenting, liking, and subscribing?
2,000.
Check raise for Hellmuth to 2,000.
Just 2, yeah.
I raise the pot.
And Tony G says, I'll make it 9 grand.
This is a decent sized 3-bet, doubling the size of the pot, but since his hand really isn't made yet, I bet this size is intended to try to get Phil to fold rather than to extract value.
Total is 9,000.
Phil checks him again. Yep, still 9s.
What are you feeling, Phil?
Tony's poking the poker brat.
You feeling it? You got me covered.
Tony G's trying to rep a big hand with all this talk. Look like Phil's buying it.
Hellmuth makes the call.
What do you need?
I need a diamond. What do you need?
You know what I need.
It's a queen of clubs on the river. Check by Hellmuth.
Okay,
Check by Tony G.
that's good.
He doesn't lose with that hand. That's the Hellmuth special.
Oh, that's a lot of graphics. What is happening?
Well, Joe, there's been a raise from Grant Levy, a 3-bet from Andreas Torbegson, which has been called by Kitty Quo, Luca Pagano, and John Carew.
It's like the opening to a sitcom.
I'm not folding. I call.
Well, he was getting 7-1. He should call if he's got a pair of Richard Branson's business cards, which we know he does because he's a baller.
Grant Levy calls as well, which means we are going 6-way to the flop.
6 ways till Sunday
Might have been a little different if it were just the 3 of us.
and the flop.
Yeah.
I would have.
Are you just not welcome on me?
No, I might have jammed it. Or fold.
6 players.
Ace 9-3 with 2 hearts.
Check. Check.
Well, I imagine someone's got an ace.
You're supposed to play pretty tight in these spots, but I'd be shocked if everyone missed completely.
It's been checked all the way around. Deuce of clubs on the turn.
Now we should see some betting. It's a pretty safe board, even for a 9.
Check. 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 Check.
Once again, it's been checked around.
What is happening?
7 of hearts. Surely someone got there on the river. Someone must have made a flush.
Check. Check. Check.
Anyone?
Check.
Luca? It gets checked to showdown.
I have a big pair.
And it wins?
Call jack. 10s.
Hellmuth with 10s. And no one can beat that.
Nobody's got an ace. It's a Christmas miracle.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that's it. Go 6 way to the flop. Ace high, he wins with 10s. And 3-way pot.
You're a sorcerer, Phil.
Phil. Ace 6.
Pot. What is it?
2,000.
It is pot limit pre-flop. Phil raises to 2,000.
You got a nice hand to start with, Phil?
The needling has already started.
These two have quite a history.
The cannon folds. Jacks for Esfandiari, who calls. And Tony G's in as well.
Can you beat ace 9 offsuit? I know you can, Tony.
I can't. That's for sure.
John, do you want me to wait for you before I put the
I wish.
Phil has Tony dominated, but Antonio has them both in bad shape.
The flop, 10-8-10, a gut shot for Tony G. Antonio's still with the best hand, and he's first to act.
Antonio probably likes his hand on this board.
So much so, he leads out, betting 4,400. Tony G folds.
Antonio doesn't want to give a free card, and on a board like that, he knows he can get called by ace high. Phil might think he has the best hand in this spot.
Where is it?
Announces a raise to 14-4.
Antonio can't really like the flop raise, but the likelihood that Phil has him beat on that board is pretty slim. Now, if Phil had a good hand here, there wouldn't be a real point in raising. There's only a couple draws to protect against, and we all know Phil's a big trapper.
Antonio calls, and it's already a juicy pot.
Good game, you see.
The turn, 3 of spades. Esfandiari checks.
Antonio's checking to the aggressor. He might like his hand, but he doesn't want to bet and get raised. That would make him more likely to be playing for his whole stack on the river. Phil's got to decide if he wants to fire another barrel. If Antonio had something Phil thought he could fold on the flop, that 3 probably didn't help him.
Phil bets 17,000.
This is more indicative of the kind of bet Phil would make if he really did like his hand. Antonio's probably realizing that making this call will basically put the rest of his stack in play on the river on the very first hand of this game.
Antonio calls.
Phil's got a pretty slim chance of actually making the winning hand.
The river, the 5 of diamonds. Antonio checks.
We've got almost $70,000 in this pot, and Antonio has stuck with Phil the whole way. If Phil wants to win this pot, he will have to fire a third barrel. Phil's trying to decide if he can make Antonio fold and just what that perfect size barrel is to get the job done. The Winchester, the 12 gauge, or the howitzer.
Wow. Sorry I'm taking so long, guys.
Tony seems cool with it.
Phil finally bets 22 grand.
Should get an Academy Award for that one.
Phil's chosen to make a fairly small bet, less than 1/3 of the pot. Antonio could interpret this as a classic Hellmuth extra value meal, and he's not loving it.
Ace 10, huh?
Nope.
Translation, OMG, please fold.
And OMG, Antonio does.
Show the bluff, Phil.
Bluff?
That's a nice start for you, Phil, isn't it? Beautiful.
Yes, yes.
Hellmuth, pocket 5s. And he'll just call with presto.
Limpy, limpy.
Nieri out. Elke with 9-8 off makes the call. Laak folds and Perkins is out.
Perkins actually saw a hand he couldn't play. Did we get it on tape?
Martinez with big slick.
I wonder how you say big slick in Italian. All Italians are pretty slick.
And he raises to 2,400.
Including this one.
Hellmuth quickly calls. Elke's done.
Well, round 1 of the greatest of all time versus online qualifier went to the qualifier. Here we go again. See, and there's Perkins with that whistling again.
8 tray 10 rainbow.
The cannon has missed, but he's first to act.
Well, we know what he thinks of Hellmuth's play. He's reaching for chips. Maybe he's going to try to bully him here. Bets 2,600.
Phil may not hate this board.
Raise 3.
He doesn't. Raises it to 5,600.
I couldn't bluff him the first time.
You could do anything you want. You are the man with more bracelets in the world.
I tried. You called me last time.
Phil's raising here to try to protect himself from being outdrawn or getting bluffed on a later street, since there aren't a lot of turn cards he's going to like.
Martinez makes the call.
This can sometimes look pretty obvious, though, and our loose cannon showed pretty good instinct so far.
Turn tray of diamonds. Martinez checks.
It's actually a pretty good card for Phil.
And he bets 5,000.
Max doesn't really respect Phil all that much. He may try to outplay him.
I'm milking a little bit this hand.
I'm not comfortable talking about milking. Phil's table talk is a little polarizing. People are usually telling the truth or they're lying. I'm not sure what it is in this case.
And Martinez just calls again.
Looks like Max thinks Phil's just barreling.
To the river. 5 of spades, Phil with a boat, and he's loving this.
Hellmuth catches another late game set. Max with nothing but ace-king high.
And checks it.
Phil's best chance of getting paid here is to try to make it look like a bluff.
Yes, Phil, you did river a full house.
22,000.
Fires 22K.
This is for 3/4 of the pot and could be a good way to level Max into thinking he's just trying to run another big bluff.
Thinking of calling me with ace-king high?
Yep.
Probably king eye is good.
The loose cannon is now actually up a bunch, and if he wasn't afraid to make a hero call before, he might be less afraid to do it now.
If you lose this hand, you reload. You reload. If you lose.
Holy schmoly.
Yeah.
How much?
That's got to be music to Phil's ears.
How much should we do?
50 is minimum, max.
Yeah, I know.
For the record, this is Phil's 6th appearance on the show. He's down over 340,000, and he's only reloaded once. Looks like Max is seriously considering making this hero call.
He does.
You got a full house.
Pretty sure that beats ace high. And I know I don't say this often on this show, but well played, Phil Hellmuth.
And round 2 goes to Phil Hellmuth, winning over a $70,000 pot.
4 players on the flop. 10, 9, 8. Everybody has a straight draw except for Phil Laak, who pairs his 10s.
Even Laak does have a backdoor straight draw as well.
Action checks to Laak. Bets 3,000. Hellmuth makes the call.
Phil's got 2 overcards and a gut shot draw.
Loose cannon gets rid of it, as does Negreanu.
Hellmuth is really only looking for a jack here. This is a draw-heavy board. Pairing up could make Laak's hand.
5 of diamonds on the turn. Laak checks.
Laak is still best with his 2 10s.
Check by Hellmuth. King on the river.
Very bad card for Hellmuth, who's now made top pair.
14,200.
Laak bets 14,200.
Phil Laak with top 2 pair. 14,200 is more than the pot. It's an overbet, which usually means extreme strength or weakness. Hellmuth has to wonder if Laak is trying to milk him a bit or if he's trying to buy it. Either way, an overbet can confuse the Hellmuth out of your opponent. If we go back a bit, Laak let out on the flop with 3 people still to act behind him. This is usually an indication of strength. In this case, Laak's overbet is not a bluff. He's in fact punched a first-class ticket to Value Town. Let's see if Hellmuth climbs aboard.
Oh my God, really? The sick thing is you could be like value betting King Jack, which is no good. But that's about all I can beat, I guess.
I know what Phil has.
2,500.
Action folded to Hellmuth in the small blind, and he's raising to 2,500.
You don't have to try to win them all, kid. You can fold occasionally.
His chances of folding here are Jack and squat, and Jack just left town.
I'm all in.
He shoves!
Wow.
I didn't see that coming.
That's what happened to me yesterday. A kid kept moving all in, and I never busted him. It was so sad to me.
Don't hate the shove. Deuces play horribly after the flop, and Phil rarely makes loose pre-flop calls.
It was so sad. I mean...
Oh, wow, you have really strong hand, too. A small pair. What's going to do for 30 blinds?
Wow, just jammed it with 30 big blinds.
Yeah, well, you just made the speech how you're going to get me, and then you raised me.
Of course I had it.
No, you had it.
Of course I had it. That's
of course. You bluff sometimes, Phil. I know that. Everyone has to.
We're going to sweat with Phil here. We'll play the hand from his perspective. Under the gun, ace-king suited, a raise to 1600.
Sweating with the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
Will Phil find a customer?
Well, I'm totally on board so far.
Sam Greenwood calls from the small blind, and Steve Gross folds the big.
So just one caller and we're in position. I am all about it.
Good flop for Hellmuth. Has the nut flush draw.
All right, let's go. Dang, it's hard to flop a pair in this place.
No, 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 no. We were supposed to bet there. No.
7 of hearts on the turn.
Did he check or what happened?
Not yet.
I'm thinking.
I'm thinking I'd like to go back and continuation bet the flop.
Greenwood leads the turn.
33. Okay.
Phil calls.
What do you need, a 9 or a 10 or something, or what?
Those would be bad unless it's a club.
King of spades on the river.
Top pair for us. This guy sure doesn't look comfortable.
Greenwood considering whether to bet again. Hellmuth the effective stack. He has 15,000 behind.
Hey, buddy, it's on you.
Greenwood handling his chips nervously.
Typically, I'd say we're pretty happy to have him bet here.
He bets 8,300.
Well, we missed the flush, but I think this is a pretty easy just call.
Gonna cost Phil more than half his remaining chips. He does call, and Greenwood tables aces.
Ay-ya.
Wow, how am I still alive? You told me the stone cold cooler and the nut flush draw on the flop live. How am I still alive in this tournament?
Because you played it weird.
He gave me the stone cold cooler. It's a miracle. Hallelujah! It's a miracle.
Okay, the poker continues with Eugene Katchaloff, who folds. Pocket eights for Daniel. Raises to 1,500. 8, 9 for Phil.
Phil's steaming, and he's got connected cards that are the same color.
Man, I was hoping he wouldn't go out like that.
Daniel referring to our loose cannon Andre Capella, whose seat we are still trying to fill, and will momentarily.
Does seem kind of brutal.
Phil has re-raised. Action over to Prahlad, who folds.
You steaming, Phil?
I'm pretending to be steaming.
Okay, but I think I can't fold.
Okay.
So what is it, 57? How can I fold this hand? That's so stupid. Right?
Hard to comment.
I don't want to fold. I just don't want to. I'm not gonna. I don't care. I don't care if it's Phil Hellmuth. I don't care how many bracelets he's got. I want to see the dang flop.
Well, you got the 3-4 diamonds?
Well, something like that. But no, I don't have 3-4 diamonds.
That's pretty
I have a
good.
strong hand, buddy. That's what I play. Strong, strong hands.
The flop, 4 Queen King.
Check.
Daniel checks.
Daniel was way ahead pre-flop. He's increased his lead even further now.
Phil bets 8,000.
This isn't a great flop for 2-8s, but I don't think Daniel can fold this hand just yet to Phil when he's tilting.
Daniel calls.
If Phil wants to win this one, he's going to have to make a showdown as expensive as possible.
Wowzer. King Jack?
5 of spades on the turn. Daniel checks.
Even if he does fire another bullet here, Daniel still may not fold to him.
Phil fires 17,000.
I should have just put it all in before the flop like I planned, but now I'm going to fold.
All in before the flop?
Yeah.
Yeah, you win it. I agree.
Actions on Steve Gross. Has queens and raises an early position, makes it 1,200. Kings for Hellmuth.
Oh no, Steve Gross is going to be known as the guy who doubles up Phil Hellmuth. Hellmuth's short, so it's going all in. Weird.
He just calls, laying a trap.
Leave it to Phil to get tricky.
Round to the button. Jack 10 for Friedlander.
Tempting, especially since this pot wasn't 3-bet and in position. Not what Phil really wants.
He calls.
Great odds for the big blind to come along too now.
Luke Vrabel also has queens.
Oh, and there's always that.
Come on.
He shoves.
This is even more gross for gross. He can't even hit a 2-outer.
You got like 27, 28 over there? Nothing, that's all. All right.
Not, I don't think that much.
Pile it in.
Gross does. And look at Hellmuth moving all in.
That was amazing. He was like a ninja. It was almost too fast for cameras to capture it.
When I woke up today, this is a hand I thought I'd go broke with. 82. But it's going to be hard for him to beat it with.
You are so lucky, buddy.
If it weren't for luck, he'd win every... Oh, he is winning this one. Kids, pack the car. We're leaving.
Hellmuth a 96% favorite to triple up. Well, there are 2 spades on the flop.
Backdoor spade sweat for Vrabel.
You could spade.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Can't be the king.
I'm in trouble. I'm drawing.
You don't want to hit the king of spades, though. I don't think I have you covered anyway.
You do.
That's exciting.
Now we have a sweat.
Come on, dealer.
Oh, man, if a spade hits, Hellmuth is going into orbit.
It's a club.
No.
Black, too.
So Phil Hellmuth triples up, and Luke Vrabel is eliminated.
Did Luke Vrabel really just kick at the air? Oh, he's so sad. Someone get him a Bahama Mama.